So Jane came into our clinic, and she had been diagnosed by experts with chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and irritable bowel syndrome. Now, one of the criteria for chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia is irritable bowel syndrome, and frequently, again, they have symptoms. People with these diseases have symptoms like cramping, bloating, and alternating diarrhea and constipation. So I believe in Jane's case, she was constipated a lot of the time, and one of the things that she liked to eat was a lot of fruits because it was helping to move her bowels. But when we saw her, she came in with her husband because she was pretty much disabled. I don't think she was formally on disability, but one of the things she loved to do was teach music, and also she performed music as well. But Jane hadn't been able to teach or hadn't been able to perform in many, many years, and frankly, most of the time she was too tired to even practice. So she basically puttered around the house and made foods for her husband and spent a lot of time watching TV and in bed. Well, I see in our clinic, we see a lot of people in this condition with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and we often find that the digestive clearing diet is very, very useful because in addition to helping people with digestive symptoms, the diet also can help many people with immune disorders such as fatigue. So I talked to Jane. We talked about incorporating the digestive clearing diet. She said she wasn't eating very much, and so she was really willing to try it. She had already cut out dairy products, so that was not a problem. She was concerned about her fatigue and also concerned about the constipation, and so we recommended some herbal remedies for the fatigue and as well as the constipation. And Jane started the program, the first 2 weeks of the program, without a hitch. One of the things that she liked about coming to our clinic is we didn't say that she had to be a vegetarian. I guess the last holistic clinic she went to, they said that everybody had to be a vegetarian, and I said that that just wasn't true, that some people do better with a vegetarian diet, but most of us in this busy culture do better with more protein intake, and that vegetarians that eat adequate protein can do it, but it's a lot more easy to eat meat if possible, because meat has not only a high protein content, but also some valuable vitamins, minerals, and trace elements that aren't found in just vegetables. So Jane was actually very happy that soups and stews could be part of the program, and she said that when she was healthy, she used to make soups all the time for her family and for herself, her family, and her husband. So she actually found the first 2 weeks very easy because all she did really is make soups and stews a couple times a week, and that satisfied her and her husband for the whole week. So she found that the weeks 3 and 4, Jane found them a little bit more difficult because one of the things that she believed really helped her symptoms was some certain minerals. And we said it's very, very important, again, when you're doing the clearing phase, weeks 3 and 4, to cut out all nutritional supplements, vitamins, and minerals unless they've been prescribed by a health professional. And that I said that there are many cases where people can oftentimes be intolerant to their nutritional supplements. And so she was not very happy about going out without her nutritional supplements for 2 weeks. And she also just said, I just don't know if I can make it without my fruits. So one of the reasons that we put fruits, we suggest cutting out fruits during the weeks 3 and 4, is that a lot of people find that they eat too much fruits. In other words, some people have the healthy habit of cutting out sweets and they substitute sweets with fruits, but their body becomes, they're not used to too much fiber, so there can be a lot of fiber in fruits, and also they can tend to ferment in the intestinal tract, and finally certain fruits such as some small fruits, particularly things like blueberries and raspberries, and melons are susceptible to fungal invasions, so they can introduce fungus into the system. So I said, please do the diet, no fruits, it's just 2 weeks. Well, Jane came back a month later after completing all 4 weeks, and she felt not totally cured, I wish I could say that, but she felt her digestive system much better. She felt that her bowels ran better than before. That was probably due to the herbal blend that I recommended. And then she felt that she had, not as much energy as her old self. She hadn't felt quite as good in a long time. So she had more energy, very little digestive disorders or digestive discomfort, and she was doing much better. We ended up treating Jane over a period of time, probably about 6 months, and we gradually changed her herbal protocol. She was able to put back some fruits into her diet, but not quite to the extent that she used to use the fruits. And she found out that while she was still recovering, that soups and stews were an excellent way to go because they were easy for her to digest. It was easy for her to make for both her and her husband. And then also she didn't have to spend a lot of time cooking because a soup can last 3 or 4 days. A stew can also last 3 or 4 days. So by cutting out the fruits or gradually reducing the fruits, by emphasizing soups and stews, by taking the herbal remedies, it took her about 6 months, but her fatigue was recovered or no longer a factor. The muscle pain and joint pain she had was greatly lessened. As long as she ate according to the plan, her digestive system symptoms were minimal. And after 6 months, again, she was back able to start teaching school and teaching music classes. And she could see, importantly, one of the things I stress in the program is look to a time when you don't have symptoms. And so she was, after 6 months, looking for a time when she could get back to performing. And so her quality of life really soared with the belief that she could start helping people with music, and then she could look for a time when she could start performing music again. Because one thing that she really loved, in addition to her husband and family, was to play music.